Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a molecule that's absolutely fundamental to how we get energy from our food, maltose. It's a really simple sugar that has a surprisingly important job.
Okay, so let's kick things off with this quote. I know, it sounds like it was ripped straight from a biochemistry textbook, right? But it's actually a pretty cool way for the entire carbohydrate family to introduce itself. They're telling us who they are chemically, these polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones, and how they're held together by special glycosidic bonds. But the most important part? Their whole purpose is to supply energy. This really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. So, before we can really get to know maltose, we have to understand the family it comes from, the carbohydrates. And trust me, they are way more than just carbs you might count in a diet.
Now, this slide gives us the formal, kind of intimidating chemical definition, but the name carbohydrate itself gives us a massive clue. It literally means hydrates of carbon. Think about it. For every carbon atom, there's basically a water molecule tagging along. And it's this super simple, fundamental structure that lets them do so many incredible jobs for us.
I mean, they are absolutely essential. Their roles are just incredibly diverse. They're the raw fuel that lets us get through the day. They're the starting point for tons of other molecules our bodies need to build. They do it all. And they even act as our body's own energy savings account, stored away as glycogen for when we need a quick boost. All right, let's zoom in a bit. You see, carbohydrates are built from smaller units, kind of like how a house is built from individual bricks. And understanding these basic building blocks is the key to understanding maltose.
And this slide lays it out perfectly. You've got your single bricks, the monosaccharides, mono means one. Then you've got a short chain of a few bricks, the oligosaccharides, oligo means few. And finally, you have these really long chains, the polysaccharides, poly means many. It's all about the number of units. And maltose, as you're about to see, fits right into that middle category.
Now, of all those single sugar bricks, one is basically the king of them all. Glucose. It's the universal fuel for our cells. It's the foundational unit for the most important carbs in our world, including, you guessed it, maltose. Okay, so we've got these single sugar bricks, but how do they actually connect to build bigger things, like the sugars in our food? Well, it's all about the connection.
The answer lies in a really special kind of chemical connection, a bond that defines exactly how all carbohydrates are built.
You can think of this glycosidic bond as the molecular glue that holds these sugar bricks together. And just like with real glue, the way you apply it really matters. As we're about to see, the precise type and even the orientation of this bond is what gives each bigger carbohydrate its own unique identity and its specific job.
So now let's put it all together and see how this building process creates the star of today's explainer, maltose. It's really a beautiful example of how simplicity can create perfect function.
Yep, it's pretty much that straightforward. You take two of our glucose bricks and you snap them together with a very specific alpha-1,4-glycosidic bond, and poof, you get maltose. And that specific link right there, it's absolutely crucial. So, at its heart, maltose is just a pair of glucose molecules linked together in a super precise way. This gives it its common name, malt sugar, and a really key chemical property. It's a reducing sugar. All this means is that one end of the molecule isn't locked into the bond. It's chemically free to react, almost like it has a free hand that's ready to grab onto something else.
And this simple little structure, it plays a giant role inside your body every single day. It's not just some random sugar. It's a vital stepping stone in a process you couldn't live without.
So why does this one molecule matter so much? Well, let's trace its journey through our digestive system. This is really where maltose becomes the hero of the story.
See, maltose is the essential middleman. Your body can't absorb a giant starch molecule directly, it's just too big. So enzymes like amylase act like a pair of scissors, snipping those long starch chains into these manageable 2-glucose units of maltose. Then, another enzyme, Maltase, comes in to make the final cut, releasing the individual glucose molecules that actually fuel your cells.
So where do you actually find this stuff? Well, while it's not a major sugar we eat directly in huge amounts, it's famous for creating that malty flavor in beer and certain supplements. But honestly, its most important source is inside our own bodies, every single time we eat complex carbs like bread, pasta, or potatoes. So to wrap it all up, the story of maltose is remarkably simple, but also kind of elegant. It's a molecule made of two glucoses built to be the perfect bridge between the giant starch chains we eat and the simple glucose fuel that our body is desperate for.
And hey, if you want a super simple way to remember all this mnemonic is perfect. Maltose equals G plus G. That's our 2 glucose units. They're joined by an alpha 1,4 link. And its key features are that it's a reducing sugar, and its main job is digesting starch. Simple, right? And really effective.
All right, quiz time. Let's see if we can lock in that knowledge. What is the name of that specific enzyme scissor that makes the final cut on maltose? If you remember from that digestion journey, it's maltase, which also goes by the fancier name alpha-glucosidase.
Okay, one more. How about its special chemical property? Why is it a reducing sugar? You got it. It's because one of its glucose units has that free hand we talked about, that chemically reactive spot called an anomeric carbon that isn't locked up in the bond, which allows it to go out and react. And that's really the story of maltose, a simple sugar doing a vital job as the unsung hero of carbohydrate digestion. It kind of makes you wonder, what other tiny molecules are out there quietly running our entire world from behind the scenes? Thanks for watching.